السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Okay guys, so last lesson of Ajurrumiyyah. Hope you guys have enjoyed the lesson so far. Alhamdulillah, I've enjoyed it a lot. And hopefully inshallah you guys can give me some good feedback as well of how the lessons went. And we can maybe even think about what I might teach next, if I'm going to teach. See what I'm going to teach next. So anyway, let's crack on with today's lesson then. So today's lesson is the final lesson, and this is a 25, so we've got 25 lessons altogether. It's called the مخفوضات. So far, if you remember, we talked about the states of words. So the states of word, the different states of a word are three types. You have the marfu state, you had the mansub state, and then we mentioned that you have the majrur state. Okay, so slow trade no way. Majrur. Okay, so majrur state. So these are the various states that you have when it comes to the words. Okay, so we've done the marfu state, we've done the mansub state, and now we're left with the majrur state now. So this is the majrur state. Okay, so this is the final one that we're going to be covering today. Now, like I said, I call this majrur, but he, the author, Ajurrumiyyah, he calls this the مخفوض state. Okay, so مخفوض state. Okay, مخفوض state. So, مخفوض state. This is the مخفوض state. So anyway, so these are the three states. So the third state is what we're going to be covering today. So in the مخفوض state, there's actually only two words or two types of words that fall under this مخفوض state, right? So the only two types of words that you get are a word that's مخفوض because of حرف جر, or a word that's مخفوض because of what we call it being مضاف إليه. And I'm going to explain each one of these inshallah as we go through. So let me just toggle this down so we can see exactly what today's lesson's going to be covering. So we're going to be covering this part of the lesson. Get rid of these red lines. I don't know why these red lines are here. Alright, so okay, by the way, Jazakallah khair for some of you guys' suggestions. Some of you guys mentioned I should cover sarf. Some of you guys mentioned I should cover some books in Nahu, like النبى. And I was thinking, I mean, I don't know if you've seen this, at the end of this book, there's actually another book. Alright, if you go down, there's actually another book, it's poems. Alright, it's called, and this is a book that's taught in some places. Okay, it doesn't seem to want to go any further down. Okay, this is the book. So, Mulhatul I'rab. Alright, so this is a book, it's in poetry form. And it's like a step above, it's a bit more advanced than Ajurrumiyyah, but it's in poetry form. So I mean, benefit of that book would be, I would say, that the student gets used to poems, right, and also rules as well. And if they're good at memorizing poems, then it can have two advantages. Okay, so anyway, so let's look at the different types then. So first of all, we're going to look at the majrurs first of all. So let's just split this then. Okay, so majrur. So basically what majrur simply means is, or مخفوض, or حرف jar, it's a particle that makes the word after it into the majrur state. So for example, let's say you had, in English, you know, if you say something like in the house, Okay, so over here in the house, this word in is what we call a preposition. Harf jar. In English, you call it a preposition. So this is a harf jar. Okay, so these harf jars that you have, they're limited there. So the author of this book, he lists some of them. Okay, the harf jar, I think he mentions about 13 of them. Okay, so these are harf jars. Whenever these harf jars come, they will always give kasra to the word after it. They're always going to give kasra. So in the house see, you're going to put a kasra there. In the house see. So this in, it has an effect on that. Yeah, in the house see. So it has an effect on that list. Okay, so in the house see. Okay, so anyway, this is what harf jar is all about. It's basically a certain type of letter that appears, or a particle that appears before a noun, and it gives it that state. So what are the letters? So I'll list the letters for you, and then we'll look at an example for each one. So I might need to just increase the size of this page slightly. Increase the size of this. Okay, so should be enough. Okay, so I'm going to list for you the ones that he lists. So we've got min, we've got ila, we've got an, we've got ala, we've got fi, we got rubba, we got ba, we've got kahf, we've got lam, we've got again wow, we've got ba. Alright, let me just bring this up. We've got ta, we've got wow again, we've got mudh, and we've got mundh. Okay, so these are the ones that he mentions, right? And there are some more which he hasn't mentioned. There's about 17 of them altogether that's agreed upon, and there's some extra ones which are ikhtilaf, 24. But like I said, I'm not going to be mentioning all these kind of things for you guys. Alright. Anyway, so let's look at each one then. So min is used for the meaning of from. Alright, so this has the meaning of from, this does. Yeah, like for example, in a sentence, you say something like this. Zayd min al-Madina. Zayd is from the city. So because of min, what min does, remember we said before, it gives kasra, or the jar state. Yeah, we mentioned the jar state. So it gives kasra, or the jar state, to the word after it. So this is going to basically give a kasra to this word here. Yeah, so remember the jar state can sometimes come in the form of kasra, and sometimes it can come in the form of a ya. Okay, so Zaydun min al-Madinati. So you have to say min al-Madinati. You got to give it that kasra. Okay, next. Ila. Ila means to. Okay, so to. Okay, so to. So for example, like ذهبت. Okay, it's acting a bit slow today. ذهبت إلى إلى المسجد. Okay, so ذهبت إلى المسجد. So إلى over here, this is the harf jar, the preposition. So this gives a kasra to the word after it. So ذهبت إلى المسجد. ذهبت إلى المسجد. And so forth. You got the other ones as well. So an is about or regarding. It can have a few other meanings as well. And about, regarding. Right. So for example, like سألت عن الدرس. So سألت عن الدرس. I asked about عن الدرس. Okay, so the an gives it kasra and it gives the meaning of regarding, about. Yeah, I asked regarding the dars. And an can have slightly other meanings, don't get me wrong, but this is like one of the common ones. Okay, so ala, the next one. So you got ala, which comes to the meaning of on. Okay, so ala, it means al-kitab. Okay, okay, so go back to this then. So al-kitabu ala al-kursi. So al-kitabu ala al-kursi means that the book is on the chair. So ala, you go over here, the word ala, and like we mentioned, ala is one of the prepositions, so it's going to give kasra to the word after it. The book is on the kursi. Al-kitabu ala al-kursi. Okay, so fi means in. Okay, I'm not going to do all of them. I'll just do a few of them because this is going to take very long for me to cover. And so fi means Zaid. Zaidun fi al-bayt. Okay, so Zaid fi al-bayt. Zaid is in the house. Fi al-bayt. Zaidun fi al-bayt. Zaid is in the house. Okay, so then you got rubba. Rubba means some. Yeah, rubba means some. For example, like you say, rubba rajulin. Rubba rajulin. So it can mean some, or it can mean like few. Rubba. Yeah, like in Arabic they say rubbama. So rubba gives that. So it's not rub, okay, don't get this confused with rub, it's rubba with the dhamma on there. Rubba. Okay, ba, kaf. Now see these three over here. These three, waw, ba, and ta. These are known as huruf al-qasam. Okay, so these are known as the qasam letters. These are for swearing oaths. Okay, so swearing oaths, qasam. Okay, so these are for swearing oaths. Just like, you know, sometimes people say, wallahi brother, wallahi, wallahi. So that wallahi is basically, you know, that. Okay. Okay, so and ba, anta. So these three can come with the same meaning. Yeah, to swear an oath. Billahi. So these three can come with the same. And they do the same thing as the rest. This waw, on the other hand, this is something you probably haven't come across. Yeah, and this usually comes in poetry, this does. So this is a waw which has the meaning of rubba. It's like a rubba hidden. Remember we talked about rubba over here? This one over there? Yeah, so this is called a waw which comes with the meaning of rubba. Yeah. Yeah, for example, like you say, وَرَجُلٍ رَأَيْتُ. Yeah, so وَرَجُلٍ. So over here, this would be wow with the meaning of rubba. Very few men have I met. Very few men have I met. So again, like I said, it isn't really common. This isn't used commonly. This is in poetry usually. Okay, and then finally you have munth and mudh. Both of them work in the same way. They mean since. Yeah, they have the meaning of since. So in other words, you say something like, since I done this, since I done that. Okay, so yeah, so since, for example, like if I say ما أكلت منذ or mudh, anyone you can use there. الفجر. Yeah, so you give kasra over here, and this is basically the harf jar preposition. Okay, so munz, mudh, since. I have not eaten since fajr. So both of these act in the same way. And that's it. So ba has the meaning of with, kaf has the meaning of like, and li has the meaning of for. Right, for. So these are the different usages of these. And like I said, there's a few more as well that the other books mention. Okay, so that's basically what you need to know about the prepositions. So whenever you get this, and I'm going to show you in the Quran, I'll give you examples in the Quran, and you'll see whenever these appear, the word after it is always in the majrur state. Yeah, the majrur state. Okay, and we mentioned before about what the majrur state basically symbolizes. So it's symbolized with a kasra or with ya. Yeah, that's how you symbolize this. So anyway, next is the mudaf. So mudaf, right, this is another type of مخفوض, mudaf ilayhi rather. So basically, I call this rule the of rule. This is known as the of rule. When you have two words, okay, you got two words there, and between the two words you have what we call the of rule. The of rule. Like for example, if I say something like this, Rasul of Allah. Rasul of Allah. So the first word of the of rule is called the mudaf. And the second word of the of rule is called the mudaf ilayhi. Yeah, mudaf and the mudaf ilayhi. The one that we want to talk about is the mudaf ilayhi. That's the one we want to talk about. This word is always majrur. Right? This word is always majrur. So, for instance, if you say something like this, if you say Bayt Zayd. Bayt Zayd. So Bayt Zayd. Again, this second word over here, the house of Zayd. House of Zayd. The second word is the mudaf ilayhi. So because it's the mudaf ilayhi, you gotta make it majrur. Yeah, you gotta make it majrur. Or for example, let's say qiblatu al-muslimin. Yeah, so in this case, the mudaf ilayhi is muslimin. Yeah, so muslimin is the mudaf ilayhi. And notice it has a ya there. Yeah, because if you remember in the early lessons when I taught, I mentioned to you that the mu'rab words can have different forms. Yeah, so I mentioned to you that you can have, Abu Zayd al-Qadi, Kitabi 233, Fir'auna Muslimi. Yeah, so this is a 233. This is a 3-word. This is a masculine sound plural word. Yeah, Jama' Mudhakkar Salim, and it takes a ya. So Qiblata al-Muslimin. So it's in the majrur state. Otherwise, you would have said this. You would have said al-Muslimun. Okay. Al-Muslimuna. Al-Muslimuna. Yeah. But in this case, you're going to say al-Muslimina. Qiblatu al-Muslimin, the Qibla of the Muslims. Okay, now he adds an extra thing which I haven't mentioned yet, which is, whenever you have a mudaf ilayhi, either you're going to have hidden, you're either going to have a min, or you're going to have a li. Yeah, that's how it's going to work, he says. Right, so either you're going to have a min or a li. So min means from. Either you're going to hide the word from, or you're going to hide the word for. For example, like Rasul Allah. Is the Rasul, is the messenger for Allah, or is it from Allah? Does that make sense? So is the Rasul, the messenger, from Allah, min? Can we hide min over there? Would that make sense? Or should we hide li over there? Would li make more sense? So would we say Rasul of Rasul from Allah? Remember, we're not going to say this of. So Rasul from Allah or Rasul for Allah. So that's what he says. The of rules, you're either going to be saying from hidden, or you're going to be saying for hidden. So in this case, I would say from Allah. Messenger from Allah. Bait Zayd, house of Zayd. Are we going to say house from Zayd, min, or are we going to say house for Zayd? This is a house for Zayd, are we going to say? Or are we going to say this is a house from Zayd? I would say we're going to say this is a house for Zayd. For meaning belonging to. Yeah. Qiblatul Muslimin. The Qibla, the direction, are we going to say from the Muslimin or for the Muslimin? The Kaaba is a Qibla from the Muslims or for the Muslims. Yeah, so in this case, I would say, again, it's going to be for the Muslims. And that's it, basically. So in other words, you have to assume hidden something there for it to make sense. That's what he's saying, basically. Yeah, so there's that kind of preposition that's hidden there. And that's it. That's basically what the lesson is all about. Does that make sense? So let's have a look at the text now. So okay, Bab al-Makhfuḍāt min al-Asmā'. Chapter of the words which are makhfūḍ or majrūr from nouns. In other words, those nouns which fall under the makhfūḍ rule, majrūr rule. Okay, so al-Makhfuḍāt ثلاثة أنواع. The makhfuḍāt are three types. ثلاثة أنواع. Yeah, can't seem to put vowels on there. So anyway, ثلاثة أنواع is supposed to be double vowel there. So ثلاثة أنواع. makhfuḍāt are of three types. مخفوض بالحرف, مخفوض بالإضافة. Either a word that's majrūr because of harf, like we done over here, or because of إضافة over here. He mentions a third type. I didn't mention this third type because I know you guys are clever and you guys can work this out. The third type is basically the tabi'. Yeah, anything that follows. So let me give you an example. For instance, let's say if I wrote this. If I said ذهبت إلى المسجد. ذهبت إلى المسجد الكبير. Okay, so I brought an adjective here. If I can write it. So this is a tabi'. This is, as you know from before. If you go back to the lessons, you can find this. So because we're going to give masjid kasra because of the ila, we're also going to give kabira kasra because this is a tabi'. So he says the third type of majrur is any word that follows on from one of these two. Yeah, anything that follows on from a harf jar or mudaf ilayh. Basically that's what it means. Yeah, and another example from the mudaf ilayhi. For instance, if I say this, if I say bab, the door, bab السيارة. Oops, I wrote بيت السيارة. That makes sense. Cars don't have houses. Okay, so bab السيارة. And here you can add another word. So for example, like if I say الجميلة. Remember, this is adjectives. Okay, so باب السيارة. So because of that, this has a kasra. And الجميلة has a kasra because it's a follow-on from السيارة. It's explaining to you, describing to you the car itself. So it's a beautiful car. So باب السيارة الجميلة. So basically in that third type, all he's categorizing is this type. A follow-on from one of these two. That's why I didn't separate it. Does that make sense? So this is what it says. وَتَابِعٌ لِلْمَخْفوض. Any word that follows on from or the مخفوض. فَأَمَّا الْمَخْفوض بِالْحَرْف. As for the مخفوض word with حرف, فَهُوَ مَا يُخْفَضُ. That word which is made مجرور بمن, either with min, or with إلى, or with عن, or with على, or with في, or with رب, or with ba. See, they write ba like this. Okay, so don't worry, I've written it in the easy way. I've just written like the letter ba, alphabetical letter. Okay, but they write it a bit fancy like that. So that's just like this, the way that it's supposed to be written. But I've written an easy way for you guys to recognize. Okay, Kahf, and I've just written a simple way like this, but it's fine, same thing. Lam, I've just written it in a simple way. Yeah. And بحروف القسم, and with the letters of oath. What are the letters? وهي, they are Waw, Wallahi, by Allah, Ba, Billahi, by Allah, Ta, Tallahi, by Allah. So these are three types of words that are used for oath. And wa biwawi rubba. So wawi rubba is, like I said to you, this one over here. Wow, that has the meaning of rubba. Okay. And mudh, finally, mudh and mundh. I don't know why these arrows are coming up. Okay. And let's look at this one then. وَأَمَّا مَا يُخْفَضُ بِالْإِضَافَةِ. As for those words which are مخفوض or majrur due to إضافة. إضافة simply means the concept of the of rule. مضاف and مضاف إليه put together are known as إضافة. Yeah, so the first word of the of rule is called the مضاف. Second word of the of rule is called the مضاف إليه. Simple as that. فَنَحْوَ قَوْلِكَ. It's like you say غُلَامُ زَيْدٍ. The servant of Zayd. So the servant of Zayd, غُلَامُ زَيْدٍ. So notice Zayd here is the whole point of this. Yeah, it's a word which is in the majrur kasra form. وَهُوَ عَلَى قِسْمَيْن. And this is of two types. مَا يُقَدَّرْ بِاللَّامِ. يُقَدَّر means hidden. What has hidden with lam? That word that has lam hidden. وَمَا يُقَدَّرْ بِمِن. And that word that has min hidden. فَالَّذِي يُقَدَّرُ بِاللَّامِ. That word which has min hidden. فَالَّذِي يُقَدَّرْ بِاللَّامِ. That word which has lam hidden. نَحْوَ غُلَامُ زَيْدٍ. The servant of Zayd. So when we say the servant of Zayd, what do we mean? It means the servant for Zayd, the one that belongs to Zayd. وَالَّذِي يُقَدَّرْ مِن. And that word which has min hidden, like ثَوْبُ خَزٍ. Yeah, a cloth of silk. What do you mean by cloth of silk? Do we mean cloth from silk, from the silk material? Or cloth for silk? So obviously min makes sense here. وَبَابُ سَاجٍ. So babu saj is a type of wood. So door of this particular type of wood. Is it door for wood or from wood? Yeah, door from wood. And last but not least, khatam hadid, a ring of iron. So does it mean a ring that's for iron or made from iron? So made from iron. So you have iron hidden there, from hidden there. And that's it, guys. Yeah, tamma bihamdillah. The book is complete with the praise of Allah. Yeah, B is over there, so preposition. Yeah, and so you're going to give this word a kasra, and the word Allah is mudaf ilayhi. So alhamdulillah, that's basically the book complete. Right, so that's all of it. So you go through the videos again. if you can't remember anything or you've forgotten things, go through the videos. They're on my YouTube channel, inshallah. You can watch them all from beginning to end and make notes as well. And inshallah, I hope you guys benefit from this. Okay, let's go to the Quran then, and let's see how we can apply what we've learnt so far in the Quran. Finish. So, وَنَزَعْنَا مَا فِي صُدُورِهِمْ. So over here you have نَزَعْنَا. Okay, we took out. Ma, this is mawsula. Fi is harf jar, like we've done today. Suduri, yeah, it's got kasra. Notice suduri him. Right, so sudur is considered to be the mudaf, and him is considered to be the mudaf ilayhi. This is a damir, and we did damirs in the beginning. Okay, so in their chests. Now you see, if you didn't know Arabic grammar, you can figure out the translation anyway if you knew the words' meanings. Naza'na means we took out. Ma means what. Fi means in. Suduri, him. Chests, their chests. You understand that? But these grammatical rules, how do you pronounce this? You would only know that if you knew that fi gives a kasra to the word after it. And likewise, min ghillin. So min is a preposition, harf jar, means from. Gives a kasra to the word after it. Tajri is a verb. Tajri, verb. Min tahtihim, again min, harf jar, preposition. Tahti, you get kasra there, single kasra, because the word tahti is the mudaf, and the him is in the ruling of the mudaf ilayhi. And then al-anharu is the fa'il of tajri. Yeah, so that's why it's marfu. And remember we said marfu, dawan, dad, waw, alif, noon. Yeah, qalu is they said, past verb. Alhamdu, all praise is. So alhamdu is mubtada, and lillahi, this is the preposition jar, preposition, and the word Allah is majrur. Lafz jalala is majrur or مخفوض. So lillahi, that will become the khabar. All praise is for Allah. Now, when you study advanced Arabic grammar, you're actually going to learn more about these things. So what we've covered in Ajurrumiyyah, that's like just introducing Arabic grammar to the learner, and then after that you start to learn more in-depth things. So once you grasp these topics, the rest is, it's very easy to grasp the rest of it. Okay, alladhi is mawsul, and then hada is fail, na is the maf'ul bihi, the damir. Okay, so that's there. Let's look over here. Nada ashabul jannati. So ashabu al-jannati, this is the mudaf, and al-jannati is the mudaf ilayh. So ashab, the dwellers of Jannah, right? The dwellers of Jannah over here. So al-jannati is mudaf ilayh. And why is ashab got a dhamma? Because it's the fa'il of nada, the fa'il of nada. And ashaba and nari, this is the last example we'll do, is the companions of the fire. Again, nari is the mudaf ilayhi, it's the مخفوض, and ashaba is mansub because it's the maf'ul bihi. The dwellers of Jannah called the dwellers of the fire. Okay, so that's it, guys. Yeah, alhamdulillah. That's it. I hope you guys benefited from this course. And if you have any questions, any suggestions, anything, put it in the comments below, inshallah. And let me know what you think. And if you have any suggestions for future courses, maybe, if I've got chance, if I've got time, I can look into that, inshallah. And one last thing, I'm going to be starting my Ilm al-Arud course, which is basically the meters of Arabic poetry. So Arabic poems, they have certain rhythms, like musical rhythms, that are hidden inside of them. So there's a science to study that as well. So that course is going to start on Saturday, inshallah. So not this Saturday, but the Saturday, the 2nd of April, or the 1st of April rather. Yeah, Saturday, the 1st of April, inshallah, this course will start. So if you're interested, you can sign up, inshallah, for it, and send an email to myself. Okay, and you can send emails to, let me just write this up. You can send emails to learning, so 2 3s at gmail.com. Okay, so you can send emails there if you like, inshallah. Right, Jazakallah khair, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, or even however long if I don't see you again. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.